fucking pissed off, bruv. Absolutely pissed off. That is just woeful. I don't know what we're thinking of. Like, first half, we looked like somewhat like Holland, only because of the kit. We didn't play absolutely amazing. But second half, woeful, absolutely shite. I'm sorry for any kids watching this now. I can't hold back because that was absolutely shit. Fucking bollocks, bruv. Pete, I'm going to invite you in here, bro, because I need to share my pain with someone, man. I was just ranting to myself, but yeah, you can share my pain as well, bro, because that second half performance, we've been here so many times and said it before, but to watch it there, fucking bollocks, bro. I'm sorry, but it was. I don't know what else to say apart from that, bro.
The season's done. The season's done.
I don't understand how chalk and cheese it could be. Sorry, first half I was just saying we looked better. I'm not going to say amazing, but we obviously looked better than the second. Second half, what happened? I'm absolutely flipping disgusted. Like what?
You know exactly what happened. They got on a flight and they're on the beach. That's exactly what performance it was in the second half. And that is a performance that we have come to know and expect from a Newcastle United that once safe, switch off, and that's as simple as that. Let's face it. It was a good move when we scored in the first half. We didn't really, we had the maximum chance, but other than that, we didn't really go at them, and they were to be had. They were to be had in that whole game. Their defence was shaky as anything. But in that second half, that was a performance of we've got enough points, we've put enough good performances in, and therefore we're looking ahead to next season. And they were on the beach. It's as simple as that. No effort, no care, no attacking intent. It was just poor all over. And not one player can come off with any sort of credit whatsoever in that second half.
I've just got to give, before you say something, Mark, I've just got to give some honourable idiot shout out. Firstly, to Manquillo. No, if not Manquillo first, sorry. Richie first, then Manquillo second, and then Bruce overall, because all three of them, I don't know what award I would give him. Donkey of the day. All three of them. Because, seriously, 2 challenges for the penalties, clear as day. No one could argue in a black and white shirt or even one of these shirts or whatever shirt we was wearing. And then for Bruce to make those substitutions, as soon as he brought on the likes of Fippin, Kraft, and what's his name? I don't even want to say his name, but you know who we're talking about. That was it. The game was gone. And lo and behold, they get the second penalty. So I just got to give a shout out to them. Well done, guys, for throwing away free. That's it. So, crack on, bro.
I've never been a fan. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah,
bro.
I was never a fan of a right-footed player playing left-back. So the position of Manquillo for that goal, he went down quite easy, but it was just shocking. And Danny Rose is not giving away that penalty. Just from experience and body position, he would have been I think, a lot more switched on. As soon as I saw Shah in defensive midfield, I just knew it'd be quite passive because I knew it would be won and lost in midfield. And the way Will Hughes was playing with the tenacity, you needed Matty Longstaff in that game because Shah was just really passive in that game. And we weren't that amazing in the first half. I just think they were nervous and we got the breakaway. And when I thought it'd be one with set pieces, I didn't think it'd be 2 penalties. And even the Fernandez one as well. Troy Deeney should have had a hat-trick.
Easily should have had a hat-trick. You just reminded me of 2 things. Deeney should have had a hat-trick as well. You're rightfully so. And then again, like, why is Manquillo allowing... I'm sure he was coming from a throw-in. Why is he allowing this man to get the better side of him from a throw-in? Like, it's that easy. That easy.
Because he's not comfortable playing there. He's not comfortable playing there. That's why he's been made to play. He's been made to play in a position where he's not comfortable. There was absolutely no need whatsoever to take Danny Rose off. He wasn't injured. He wasn't tired. He wasn't playing bad.
He's not playing in the next game either. He's not even playing against Spurs.
Exactly.
You get a rest.
There was absolutely no need for Danny Rose to come off. There was absolutely no need to take Dwight Gayle off. As you saw, when Dwight Gayle came off the pitch, there was no impetus in our attacking play whatsoever. If we don't have Dwight Gayle up front between now and the end of the season, we're not going to look like scoring any goals. We don't offer anything, right? There was no need, additionally, to bring on Joe Linton. The guy offers absolutely nothing. He offers nothing. Right,
one thing,
and he was playing left wing for a little bit, and he didn't do anything.
I'll give Bruce one thing. He got one thing right, and he did bring off Richie because Richie was having an absolute stinker. That's who he came off for. So Joe Linton came off for Richie. I never thought I would say that again and think it's correct, but that was the one thing. I do agree with you when you said taking off Gayle. Why take off Gayle? That's our goal for it. I mean, he's already gone and scored a goal. He's already testing their defense. Why would he take off Dwight Gayle and bring on Nabil Bentaleb? I had to say his name. Nabil Bentaleb.
It's because
people. What is he offering?
No, it's because we're safe, innit? He wants to like give everyone minutes. I mean,
I don't care about that stuff. We're not. What was he saying?
Those guys have had enough minutes. They've had enough minutes.
Yeah.
It was poor substitution. It's poor substitution. I am now convinced with him bringing Joe Linton on that there has to be something in his contract which says if he's fit, he plays. There is something there because there was no need to bring him on at all. The more logical switch in that situation is to bring Lazaro on for Richie. Now, Richie needs to take sole responsibility, right, for us pretty much losing that game or certainly losing the lead because there was no need for him to do that. There was no need for him to do that. It was a clear penalty, 100%. Nobody can argue that. But there was absolutely no need for him to do in that situation and take responsibility for that.
I don't understand why
the game to back Man City. They've been awful. I don't expect to start Wednesday. I cannot have poor bad to walk to that side.
Hey, I might have to take you out for a second because I think you're cracking up a little bit, mate. I might have to take you out a bit for just because you're cracking up again. Come in and come back out again.
Yeah.
I don't understand why. I don't understand why Lazaro should have started, but do you know what I mean? We're safe. We need to see what he has to offer. He should have started. Do you know what I mean? What's the point of not starting him? He should have played to see how he look at his game management, the way he, do you know what I mean? His fitness. Get him start the game. Give him like at least 60 minutes. What's the point of him not playing? If you think he's worth the money, then you should start him, isn't it? You should have started the game.
Bro, I don't even care about Lazaro at this point in time. I'm more worried about what are we doing in the likes of putting Nabil Bentaleb on and taking off Dwight Gayle. Like, I don't understand. But
the reason why Bentaleb had to come on is he had to prove. On the pitch,
we're stretching them. Do you know what I mean? We're stretching the likes of Dawson and all the rest of it all over the pitch. What we're doing with Nabil Bentaleb, we're not doing that. Do you know what I mean? If we're trying to shore up shop, Nabil Bentaleb is not the guy that we bring on. Matty Longstaff might be even a better shout than Nabil Bentaleb. I don't understand that. And then shoving Manquillo off to left back where he's clearly not comfortable. Danny Rose is doing a decent job. He's doing an alright job at left back today. Obviously, Lascelles is shouting at him and getting into position, but Rose is more experienced at left back than anyone in our squad. Anyone. So these sort of tactics, I don't understand. Yeah, we could say we're on the beach and the rest of it. We're 1-0 up. We're defending a lead. Defend the lead properly. I just don't understand it. And
I want to know what he said to him at half time, to be fair, because
you're right.
Tactically, he's shambolic. This is why Steve Bruce cannot be the manager of Newcastle United for these sort of mess ups, man. It's shocking. Sounds like I'm going over the top, but as soon as he moved him to left back, he's just uncomfortable on that side.
Yeah, but to be fair, Mervyn, you're right. I get what you're saying. It does sound like going over the top. It's only one game. It's only one loss. It's only a loss.
No. We've seen this too many times.
It goes beyond that.
But how can you automatically blame it on the player, on the manager? Sometimes the players have to be accountable as well. It's not always the manager's fault. Sometimes the players have to be accountable.
Because Manquillo's not a left back.
I get that. So
Rose stays there. That's not happening.
I get what you're saying.
Shah shouldn't be playing DM in my opinion as well.
Yeah, but I don't.
I'm not even blaming them too much in the sense they're put in those positions. Mankio's position for me is not left back, and Shah's isn't defensive.
I'm not buying that. I get that, but I'm not buying that. If you're a wing back, you should have the game intelligence. You can play left back, right back. You can play in both positions. Like,
I play full back. It's a big difference. Big difference.
No, it's not. It's not. Okay, Mervin. What, Mervin, do you remember when we had David Santon?
Yeah.
Okay, where was he right-footed? Do you remember he was a left back?
Yeah, I remember he was a left back.
I don't ever remember him playing right back, so I'm not buying that. I understand your point, but
he could be got at as well.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like, I'm not.
He's not the best.
Tell me how many more players.
If you're training, it's like asking so if it's okay for a right back to play on the other, why is it okay for a winger to play on the other side? I don't get it, bro.
It's not okay.
Seb, you're saying
the players, bro. That's the thing. I know what you're gonna say. We've got the players to actually play the positions. Fair enough. If we haven't got the players, do a job. But when we've got Danny Rose, England international, doing a decent job, Lascelles is shouting out, getting in position, getting him riled up, and all the rest of it, I don't see why we need to make the changes. That's not the change to make. Everyone was saying to Bruce, "Oh, he's doing a great job, tremendous job." Look what you're seeing right in front of you. Look, this is the sort of thing where he needs to prove his point to say he's doing a good job. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not. He's doing an okay job. He's not doing a tremendous job. He's doing an okay job. If you're taking off an England international that you brought in for Mankio to shift him onto the left, and then he gives away the penalty, is that doing a good job?
It's square pegs in round holes. You got to play your plays in the right positions. You're not doing Mankio a justice by moving him to that side. You're not helping him. If there was like what Clinton said, if there was no other way, then fair enough. But you could have just kept Rose at left back.
He didn't look like he's coming off injured. He didn't look like he's tired or anything. He was playing. He hasn't played it in the previous games, or hasn't started in the previous games. So I really don't understand that one. I don't understand that one.
The reason why, you have to understand, like, Rose is on loan. He's technically he's not our player. You know what I mean? So he has to invest in people in the squad who belong to the team. I like Rose. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, he's an international, but technically he's not our player. You know what I mean?
But that makes
he has to invest in squad members, isn't it? He has to invest in squad members.
But hold on. That makes even more of a case because, like Marv said, he can't play in the next game. So again, he might as well play this game and play well. Like he's playing in the game, he's in the rhythm of the game. You're then bringing a new into the team where, do you know what I mean? We're on the defensive, and he's got to get used to that. And we've got Rose who's already playing in the game who can't play the next game. So you might as well play for the full 90. Nah? That's what would make more sense to me.
And Seb, you said you wanted Lazaro to start. So if you wanted Lazaro to start, he's on loan as well. So it can't work both ways. You either want the loan players.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Even Lazaro, maybe his mentality is like, maybe he's thinking, "Oh, I'm not playing." Maybe he's throwing a sulk, isn't it? Maybe he's throwing a sulk. I mean,
for me, I mean, the point that you made, Tim, about fullback should be able to play both sides. It doesn't work that way. There are certain individuals that specialise in playing on the other side, like Santo. Santo's played his whole career as a left back with a predominantly right foot. He specialises in that. Not every fullback are able to play. You would never see Ashley Cole playing right back. Ashley Cole was one of the best left backs to ever play in the Premier League. You would never see him play right back.
And no one would put him there.
He would never play to the strengths that he would as a left back because of his strongest right foot. The thing that makes Mankilio so predominantly solid as a right back is his ability to defend on the right hand side with his favoured foot, but also getting forward and to be able to make those runs and cross and get balls into the box on his favoured foot. If you watch him on the left hand side, he's constantly wrong-footed because his predominantly defensive foot is then becoming his left foot, which is his weaker foot. So the right winger is always got the benefits of him. So
I know, but
that's what I'm saying. And he looks like he's uncomfortable. He looked in those games that he's played left back. He's looked uncomfortable playing.
He's training every day. I know what you're saying.
You can train all you want, but if you're not,
yeah, but I'm a defender.
Comfortable in that position.
Javi Manquillo has a limit. He has a cap, and playing left back's not going to help him. You're not going to get the best out of him doing that. So that's the manager's choice for putting him in that position. The reason Ashley Cole's unbelievable left
he's
back,
a professional.
He's a professional.
Bro. That's his job. It doesn't matter. He's getting paid. I understand.
Of course. You're right.
That's his job. And then look.
Yeah.
But if he's not good playing there,
we can talk about
Joe Linton. He's a professional, but he's no good at playing up front.
Yeah, but the reason why I'm being harsh the reason why I'm being harsh on Manquillo is because I can play in defense as well. I know how to defend, isn't it? I mean, so I'm not buying the whole wrong foot stuff. Like, you can make it happen. Bro. Just get involved. You know what I mean? Like, it's
but
not
knowing that he can't play that.
Yeah, but the mistake he made was nothing to do with like being wrong-footed. It was just a mistake. You know what I mean?
But he got caught on his weakest. That's the thing.
His body position was all wrong.
I mean, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If he's on his
because it's like what Pete said. He got turned because it predominantly he's right foot. Because I used to play fullback a little bit as well. Predominantly he's right-footed. So if you're playing left back and you're going in for a tackle like that, your body position, you got to open yourself up, and you're going in that with your left foot. He got spun, and then he had to put his body on him, and then he went down. Danny Rose was in a very similar position to that in that game, and he used his experience to.
If you look at Manquillo, when he's trying to win the ball back, he's actually trying to win the ball back on his right side. But as Marv said, he's been spun, so he's having to defend the ball on his left-hand side, which is his weaker side. So as he's trying to get back, which is why he's holding him, he's ended up pulling him down. He's done it for too long, and you can hold a guy back, but there's only so long you can do it for. And he did it for far too long, which is why the refs had to give the penalty.
And makes it,
Look,
exactly.
but going back to the original point that Seb made about it all not being on Bruce, and I agree with you. I completely agree with what you're saying, in that the players have to take some responsibility for that performance, because, you know, they do. In that second half, they were a disgrace and they didn't turn up. But the book stops with the manager. The manager makes the decisions. The manager has the half-time team talk. As Marv said, I'd be very interested to hear what he actually said to those players, because from going in very, very comfortable at 1-0 to then come out and put that honking performance in the second half, right? There was something that would have had to have been said. But he's also had an opportunity to change things quite early on, whether it's tactically or with individuals. He's waited too long. But then when he's made the changes, he's made the wrong changes, in my opinion. And I think that's helped the downfall in the team. So he also has to take responsibility for that too. And that's the point that I'm making. Is that the book stops. The book lies with Bruce. He's the manager. He has the opportunity to change things tactically and change things with personnel. He didn't do it tactically, and he made the wrong decisions with the substitutions. So he has to hold his hands up for that as well. And going into next season with potentially a takeover when it happens and more money and better players,
it will happen. It will happen.
Yeah, well, no, I think it will. I think it's only a matter of time. Going in with more money and better players. You think those players are going to respond to Bruce managing like that and making those type of decisions in those type of games? We might play Watford again next season in that type of game and need a win. And if he makes those wrong decisions, that's then costing us 3 points.
Yeah, but
we're
any
not going to be in a
manager
position to do that.
like that. Any manager can make a decision like that. It comes to training. When it comes to tactics, fair enough. We all have our own opinion on tactics. So I didn't mean to cut you up, Pete. We all have our opinion on tactics, this, that. Yeah, you should have made the wrong sub, but we don't know what happens in training. Do you know what I mean? Like, he has to play him. He's a squad member. He has to play him. But I always feel like I always feel that Spurs are there for the taking, because we are. If you look in history, if you look at the head-to-head stats, I think I saw a stat like 2 seasons ago. We've beaten Spurs more than any other team in the league. We are traditionally Spurs' bogey team. So that's a thing I always look forward to. Home away, that's a thing I always look forward to.
Let's worry about this game. Maybe let's done with this one because this one is a shit show. I'm sorry, but Bruce's tactics was just all wrong, and this whole loving for Bruce from the commentators is just pissing me off. It's happened in the last 2 games now as well, where they're saying, "Oh, he's done a good job" and all the rest of it. Now, I don't know what sort of games they're watching. They're only watching the TV.
They'll all disappear now. They'll all disappear now until Wednesday. They'll all disappear. You won't hear anything of them. It was really funny that Luke Edwards on Twitter, that Bruce's biggest supporter, didn't watch the game on Wednesday and literally turned off his Twitter account on Wednesday through to Thursday morning. Why? Because he knew they were going to get beat, but also equally because of the manner that they got beaten. Sorry, he knew that the fans were going to question him about it, so he turned it off. But if we'd have won today, he'd have been shouting from the rooftops. You probably won't hear from him today. And a lot of the other supporters, the Phil Nevilles, the Danny Murphys, and the Rio Ferdinands and all the rest of it, they'll all go quiet today. All of the Bruce fighters.
On Amazon, was it Townsend and whoever it was? But let's talk about the one positive, which is obviously we scored first, believe it or not. Dwight Gayle, it's 3 and 5 now. Pete, you were spot on with that, or what we talked about yesterday when you said start Gayle and he made a difference. So fair play on that one. But yeah, I think let's just talk about the one positive because otherwise we could all rant for days, innit?
Well, we were talking during the game, and I said to you, I mentioned it a week or maybe even a couple of weeks ago that I like players to prove me wrong. I've always questioned Dwight Gayle and can he do it in the Premier League and his mentality, but he's been given an opportunity and he's scoring goals and he looks a threat and he looks like the only striker in our team that can actually look like a threat. And for me, if we have any chance of winning any of our remaining games, he has to be playing and he has to be starting. And as long as he's fit, he plays. Is he the answer long term? Definitely not. And I think we need maybe one, maybe even 2 more strikers coming in the summer. Who knows? But we at least need one.
Yeah. We don't have that type of striker in our squad. I remember even when it was at Palace, maybe I'm a bit biased because I live in South London. Palace is my local team and my brother supports Palace. But I remember when I was seeing him at Palace, I remember saying I wouldn't mind him in my squad. Maybe not as a first choice, but I'll still have him in the squad. Do you know what I mean?
The difficulty with Dwight Gayle is that because of his injury record and his fitness record, he needs to be playing regular games. So he's not a guy that you'd bring off the bench and expect to impact the game in the way that he has done in his last 5 games for us, in that he needs to be playing regular football in order to be producing his best. So if we're getting a striker that's going to be coming in the summer to be the number 1 and he's a squad player, 1, I don't think he will see the best of him on the back of that. And 2, I don't think he's going to want to be a squad player. He's just turned 30 now. He's probably going to be looking to be the number 1 striker in whatever team he plays for. And if he's not going to be that, then it's probably best that he moves on. But at the moment, he's doing well for us. Fair play to him. I was like I say, we had the same with Perez last year when the fans got on his back and he turned around and put in a good half, last end of the season, and proved the fans wrong. Dwight Gayle seems to be doing the same. So, fair play to him for what he's doing.
Yeah. So I don't know what else to say positive apart from that, really, because if we run through the whole team, which I'll save you the pleasure of doing that, we would just be here for hours just ranting and raving. I suppose the last thing I want to talk to you about is obviously we lost a member of our footballing community, someone that's very close to the club as well. So RIP to Jack Charlton. I don't know just what to say about, just apart from just kind of our thoughts are with the family. I don't know if any of you guys want to contribute or anything like that.
He's just a football legend, isn't he? Obviously, he brought home the World Cup. He's obviously managed Newcastle in the sort of mid-80s with the likes of Waddle, Beardsley. I think he had a young Gaza as well coming through. And he's done a lot for the club. He used to still go up and visit the club. I know he's done a little bit for the Bobby Robson Foundation as well. Even in the recent years, So he's done a lot for Newcastle. So obviously he's still remembered fondly by the club and by the fans. So yeah, obviously condolences to his family.
Yeah, I remember when he was the manager of the Republic of Ireland in the '94 World Cup, and they had a good squad, man. They had a good. They beat Italy in the first game, I remember. I don't remember too much about him. Obviously, he was living in his brother's shadow. Bobby,
Bobby.
What's his brother's name?
Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby Charlton. But yeah, fair play, man.
As I said, I'll repeat to Jack Charlton. Obviously, you can see like that the outpour of, condolences from the likes of Leeds to Newcastle to England to Republic of Ireland. Just goes to show like how much he was loved and appreciated. So I suppose last thing then, moving on to the next game against Tottenham. Seb, I know you kind of alluded to it already that we've got a good record there. We've got our first win of the season, I believe. There, Joe Linton of all people scored.
Did you know? Did you know that we've beaten Spurs more than any other team in the league? They've lost more games to us than any other team. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that until you said it. But I was just going to say, like,
we are their bogey team.
Performances. How do we kind of go into this game? Because Man City, that was a right.
We have to attack them. We have to attack them. Spurs know about us. They know that that's a fixture that when they see they play Newcastle, they know that's a game they can lose. And obviously, they've beaten us, blah blah blah, in the last like 3 or 4 seasons, but they know that's a game they're capable of losing, and they're very aware of that.
I think it shouldn't be a tough game because they are really not playing well at all, and in attacking situations they don't look like scoring, regardless of whether Kane's playing or not. He doesn't look himself at all at the moment, and they have a defence that can be got at. We've played West Ham, we've played we've played Man City, albeit they're a fantastic attacking side, but they've got a weak defence, and then we've played Watford today. They're all teams that we could have been attacking and making the most of, and unfortunately we haven't. We've got an opportunity against Spurs because they will come at us. We'll be able to soak it up, and there'll be opportunities on our home pitch on the counter attack. I do worry though, because I don't think from what I saw that Lascelles will play Wednesday. The fact that he had to come off with another ankle injury, I think it'll be a big miss for us, to be honest. But normally with a full strength squad, I would say, we've got a chance. But look, for me, who knows with this Newcastle team? The 2 wins that we had during the restart, Sheffield United and Bournemouth, we never expected those performances, and yet we got them. And the performances against like the likes of Villa, West Ham, and then today, where you were thinking we'd be more positive about those games upcoming and thinking, we can get something from them, and we haven't. We've not got the wins that we thought we would. I don't know what to expect from this team now. I don't know. We had a decent performance in the first half. They were on the beach in the second half. So I really don't know what to expect from this team. So I personally couldn't even predict a result, because I'd have to wait 5 or 10 minutes into that game to be able to see what mentality this team's got and where we're going in terms of a performance in that game. And that's the biggest issue.
Yeah, I don't think Spurs have a confident play. Yeah, sorry.
No, I was just going to say you're right, Pete. Before you get on to and obviously Matthew makes a good point in that Josie's never won at St James's Park, but I think that's kind of out of the question now at the moment, because he's got a point to prove. I think we're in bad form at the moment, which is due to come anyway. Like, we can't be on a good run after lockdown for forever. So I don't know with this one, because
I'll be quite interested. I'll be quite interested to see how Steve Bruce lines it up, because talking about the fullback, I'm at a loss who to put in the fullback positions, because if we go back to a back four, if Danny Rose is out, then left back might be a bit of an issue. And if Lascelles is out as well, then it might be Shah back to defence. But I don't even think we have enough defenders to go 5 at the back. So I'll be interested to see who he puts in defence. And then I don't know, I feel like Matty Longstaff needs to have a run out as well in the game. But like what Pete said, the first 10 minutes we'll see.
Yeah. Can I just add on to what Marv was said about Matty Longstaff? Him not starting today and having a defender playing in defensive midfield or in the centre of midfield tells me everything I need to know about the situation. In my opinion, personally, this is Mike Ashley still having a hold on the club, and in my opinion, Mike Ashley has said he doesn't play or he doesn't start until he signs a new contract, and I think that's come from above. That's my opinion. And Mike Ashley's been well known to have done this about players in the past. He's been well known to do this to players in the past, whether they've been on loan or whether they've whether they've been at the club. It was the same with Diarmé at the back end of last season, because if he started another with Diarmé, if he'd started another game, it would have triggered a 2-year contract, and they didn't want to give him a 2-year contract, so therefore he was basically not allowed to kick another ball until the back end of that season, so he could only play one more game. I think they've done the same here with Matty Longstaff, so I think Mike Ashley is still showing his stranglehold on the club, because he effectively doesn't want to continue to develop another talent that quite possibly might not be at Newcastle next season if he doesn't sign a new deal. So I think that's been a classic situation at the moment, because Steve Bruce has been chatting a load of rubbish, saying, he's had niggly injuries, or we've rested him because of this or that and the other. Load of rubbish. Every picture that you see on those in those training pictures on the website, he's training every day. He's training every day with the first team. He's doing everything he needs. It wouldn't even surprise me if he didn't have an injury in running up to restart, which what Bruce has said. It wouldn't surprise me if he's been absolutely fit and they've just kept him away. And I honestly believe that's been the case, and they're kind of trying to force his hand, and he's not budging. Because you've got a young centre midfielder there that should be playing. He should be playing. He should have started that game.
You just reminded me of something, bro. You just reminded me that Steve Bruce apparently has come out and said it's a myth that we're going backwards under Mike Ashley. I don't know why it just popped up in my head. You know why? Because Steve Bruce is just an absolute idiot, and he doesn't know what he's saying. He's saying things because he's getting so frustrated and so wound up at the moment. Like he's started to get angry and frustrated about all the takeover talks. He keeps getting asked at his press conferences, and he's talking about putting pressure on the Premier League, to the media, and all the rest of it. He's cracking up at the moment because he can't handle the pressure, right? Because of course he is. That's the thing. Of course he is. Feeding into it.
He's being affected by every little thing at the moment, is because he's been given a ray of hope. He's been given a ray of hope by a lot of people in the media that he could actually still be in charge under a new regime and new ownership. And the likelihood of that is like a 5% chance. He's walking around thinking he's got a 50%, 60% chance of staying in charge. And so he is starting to believe his own hype. But with the results not going his way, he's panicking. So this type of talk is making him look even worse. And with these type of results, it's making him 2-3 times as bad as what he was before. And he's completely cracking up. And a better manager and a more experienced manager at the top end of the Premier League would have dealt with this situation a hell of a lot better. He's not. And it tells me a lot. It tells me everything that I need to know about Steve Bruce.
There you have it then, guys. I won't run on too much more and waste too much more of your time. Go and enjoy the rest of your weekend, man. Just try and forget about it. Well done to Watford. They're bloody safe. We're supposedly, we are safe, but I don't know. I just don't want to see us play like that anymore, man. Either that or just end the season now. But we'll see you guys all soon. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll be back soon for the preview of the Tottenham game. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Boys. See you later, boys.
Cheers, guys.
Bye.